Hey, good evening, everybody. This is BurntCole. You're joining me on Christmas 2025. It's the 25th of December, and right now it's about 7:30 Eastern here in the United States. Right now, I am on Interstate 85. I just crossed into Virginia, so I'm getting close to Emporia, and I'm about just saw a sign that said I'm 65 miles short of Petersburg. Petersburg is south of Richmond. I kind of have some of my bearings just from driving up that way. Um, Driving around in places in the United States is really an exercise. If you're not familiar with the area, you're not going to be driving right according to the locals. It's just how it is. I don't know. It might be cliche, right, to talk about New Jersey, New York, Atlanta, these places with high traffic, Los Angeles. But that's just the nature of the beast where those places are. Nobody talks about how in little podunk places where the population is 1,000 or less, how there's a problem at four-way intersections. Just people do not know what to do at four-way intersections. They roll up, they do that little wave. People forget the whole like look to your right rule. It's a mess. So, and that only helps whenever people get familiar. I know plenty of places in South Carolina where I've been living for the past 5 years or so. There's lanes that'll just magically appear and disappear. I mean, I'm talking about like you're driving in your lane and then it's gone. It'll turn into a parking or it'll turn somewhere. And if you're not familiar with that, if you've never been down that road, that's going to be very unsettling. There isn't a standardization, is what I'm trying to say. And as far as like, here's one thing that you can test out. Go for a drive and cross a county line. You're going to see a difference. Like the asphalt's going to be different. It's going to be a different grade. There might be more potholes on one side. Like that was one thing growing up in North Carolina. You could tell which counties had a little bit more money, or the ones that actually gave a crap about how their roads looked, because a road going up to the county line would have all these potholes and just craziness. And then you get to the county line, it's just smooth, nice, pretty asphalt, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, so Wake County just did a paving project, good for them. And it's just, I'm done with that. I'm done with this whole, oh, it's okay if everybody does separate things. There needs to be standardization. There needs to be just, hey, if you're going to drive in the United States, everybody know the dang rules. And here's my point that I'll get to for that. Speeding. Oh, speeding. My favorite. I'm an outlaw when it comes to speeding. I'll break that law in a second. You're telling me in our year of the Lord of Gaia, of Yeshua, whatever, 2025, that 65 is fast? No, dude. We've got cars that I mean have computers in them that can drive that fast without any kind of problems. Speed limits are, I think that they just have not been reviewed. They're set in a time whenever drum brakes were standard, and stopping distance were a lot shorter. Maybe the road grade's a little bit different. I just think that here's what I would love. I get on my stump, I run for office, and I pass some kind of legislation where there's a road, just one, or just like a little project. What I'm getting to is there needs to be a beta test for Autobahn style driving in the United States. I'm talking about, and we can do that on 2 lanes. I'm on a 2-lane highway right now. There can be no speed limits. You could just have cars go as fast as the driver feels safe and available to do that, like they do in other countries. And the one simple rule is you get over to the right. That's the only trick. As you're driving down the road, if there's nothing to your right, get over to the right. That allows cars to pass, and then we're free to speed. All right, imagine if like I was just a state guy though, and I just passed that for South Carolina. And now you've got people coming into South Carolina go, oh, hell yeah, all right, now I'm going to put my foot down on it and see what this muscle car can do. But if they don't know that rule, get over to the right, and they're not following the signs and obeying the local at that point it would still be a local law, then there's going to be collisions. It's going to be like bad. It's going to be a big learning curve. We could do it. I'm not saying it can't be done. Like, I believe in the American spirit is indomitable, but that's just my point. Is it would work a lot better if it was standard across the country. If there was a way to do it, it wasn't a state thing. It would be about, if you have roads, this is your law for your road, or at least for our interstates going through your roads. That's something I would love to see. Standardization, less, and I think that everybody has been affected by auto accidents, auto deaths. Unfortunately, I really, hate that point. But even if we just look at the mundane, just look at your monthly bills. How much are you paying for insurance? Has that gone up? That is a factor of your community. That's a factor of your road. It's so standardization would just help out with safety. It would help out with money efficient fiscal responsibility. I was about to say money efficiency. Fiscal responsibility. It's yeah. And my key point, if we were just to put this into perspective, if we were to have a project to find ways to have highways without speed limits, it would have to be something across all states. It would have to be a standard in the whole country. Hawaii could probably do their own thing. They could get away with having left-hand driving if they wanted to. They have their own little island. But if we were all standard, and you wanted to take a trip over Hawaii, and you got out of the airport, Honolulu, and you went to your car and the steering wheel was on the right-hand side, what would you do? You have to drive on the left-hand side of the road? You'd be all weirded out? That doesn't work. That's why standardization is so important. That's why Hawaii has you driving in the right-hand lane and our steering wheels on the left side. Standardization, folks. Let's get it. Gosh, I just think about driving so much as I'm going on the road, you guys. I'll talk to you guys about some more cultural things and whatever else. I want to do a whole segment about the word guys, too. I keep pausing after I say it because I don't want to be insensitive. There's a whole bit about that. I appreciate your time. I'm going to focus back on the highway, and I'll talk to you later.